Hello, Libra. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Star Spinner Tarot by Trungles. There's a website for this, chroniclebooks.com, if you want to research more information on them. I don't know what's on that website. I assume there's more or other tarot decks, but who knows. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. This is a deck from 2002. There's no website that I saw. But if you want to search down that information, you can do that. It's illustrated by Jesse Reisch, R-E-I-S-C-H is Reisch? R-E-I-S-C-H. Yep. H. In case you wanted to know that. I'm loving the ending, but let's see how we get there. We gotta get some tarot cards down here. I'm all about the ending, though. I'm excited for you, whatever that is. I'm like, you got a lot of things coming forward that are going to be very beneficial to you. I'm just like, what is it? All right, we're done. Okay, a lot of good things. Okay, a lot of good things. Is this all? Is this like a Sunshine Rainbows reading? What are we doing here? Which is not bad. We'll see. Let's get through it. Harvest with the King of Pentacles, King of Coins, King of Pentacles, all the same to me. It's interesting that they use that rabbit on there, because when I think of rabbits, I think of fast energy. I just find it very interesting for the King of Pentacles to be like, if they're already in a run, they'll keep in a run. But it's very odd to me that I feel like a rabbit coming out of a hat is what I'm really getting from that. It's a rabbit coming out of a crown, obviously. But that with the harvest, you have changed the game at this point. You had been working towards something. There was a goal you wanted. I feel like you're ending something here, especially with the harvest energy. But you've been working at it for a long while. I think that's the Pentacle energy for you. I've been working towards the completion of this, and you're pulling the rabbit out of the hat in the sense of like, all right, now it's time to do that. Trying to bring this to fruition. Time to harvest the situation. Okay, it's good. Starting off good. You did what you had to do. I'm getting that very strongly too. Like, I had to work this out my own way. This needed to change. I'm doing that, so I'm doing that. I'm doing that, so I'm doing that. Okay. Other people are taken care of. You're not screwing anybody over. So other people are taken care of. But I also feel like this seems to be calming or kind of quelling. I want to say quell. It's calming down the energy around you. When you do this, it seems like imagination was floating around here and people weren't sure what was going to go on, and it was kind of just floating around. But when you did what you had to do, it just calmed it all. It just like, it grounded all the unknowing. Well, here's what we're doing, so I guess you don't have to wonder anymore, because here's what's happening. You grounded it. Safe home protection. I do get, like, even though you took out a lot of that guesswork, it seems like it's weird. It's almost like people feel a lot more secure and happy, but at the same time, they're like, yeah, but now the possibilities are gone. So it's kind of like if you were really hungry and you got a meal that was just so-so. So it's kind of like, well, you're not hungry anymore. Yeah, but it wasn't the 5-star meal that I wanted. It was just, it was okay. Yeah, but you're not hungry anymore, right? Like, it's kind of like that's what you would say to this person, kind of like, or people. I think it's more than one. That's where I get friendship with this Nine of Swords. It's kind of like, that's what I'm getting. Like, it's like they were really hungry. You're like, all right, well, here's some food. And then they're like, well, I mean, it wasn't that great. Yeah, but you were hungry, right? You're not hungry now, are you? Like, you solved the problem, right? Every meal can't be a 5-star meal, you know what I'm saying? I don't see this being a problem at this point. I just see you noticing it. But I also see other people kind of stepping forward going, no, come on, we were hungry. Be thankful for what you got. Because they get the Knight of Cups coming in here like, everybody's getting along, and I feel like, there's a couple people around this that I keep feeling this energy, kind of like, yeah, I was hungry, but I wanted like a steak. And you're like, well, that wasn't going to happen here. You could have stayed hungry if you wanted to, or eat what I gave you. You ate what I gave you, so that's what it was. Other people are stepping in going, no, that worked out good. It was a good meal. I'm thankful for it. I'm happy for it. Good, good, good. I don't see you being shocked. You're not shocked. This does not shock you. If this is hitting, you are not shocked by that. Kind of like, yeah, that's how this rolls. And you knew that was going to be the way it is. So you did what you had to do. There's another phase coming in. What are you doing here? There's another phase coming in. Were you working on it, or some? It's like another phase coming in. There's been some previous work on this situation, so it's not new. Doesn't feel new in any sense of the word. But like when you're going into a new phase, it's either you're adding into it, or I feel like for most of you it's more like you're more involved in this situation. It's like it might have been there for a while, it might have been going on for a long time, and you were just kind of floating around it here and there. But when this one situation ends, you're going stronger into this other situation. When I get that destiny, though, I feel like it's been around. You just haven't been that heavily involved with it. And when you do go towards it, there are people who are really, really excited to have you there. Romance, Two of Cups. Is that the Two of Cups? If I can move my finger. Yeah. Two of Cups. People, more than one person, I think, but could be just one person. Really like, oh yes, Libra, please come over here. Please do this with us. Please be a part of this situation. Like, yes, Libra. Yes, come here. When you do show up, though, that same energy is kind of like, I'm so glad you're here. Here's what's been going on. And it's one of those things like, oh, I'm so glad you showed up. By the way, here's the tea. That's the term, right? Here's the tea. Here's what's been going on. Here's how it's been going. Here's what I've been dealing with. Whew, I'm so glad you're here, but I got to tell you I got to get you up to speed with what's happening. Because the Five of Wands shows up, but it feels informational to me. It feels like they're just telling you. Because when I get the Five of Wands with the Lovers, it's a really good energy. It's just kind of like getting you up to date, filling you in. I'm like, well, this and that person hates that person, but this person's good, yet they do this stuff. That person, they don't want to know anybody. They just want to show up, do what they need to do, and go away. So, and they're just telling you what they've been dealing with. And they're like, getting all these people to work together, it's really been a challenge, especially with that one. They're a good person, but they don't want to deal with these other people, so it makes it more difficult. And I feel like they're just telling you all that stuff. They're just giving you all the ins and outs, what's going on, how. This is good. This is a very good energy, because I feel like this gives you a lot of ideas about what needs to do, what needs to happen. I feel like you jump right into this. It's kind of like I showed up to the pool and I jumped right into the deep end. And like but before I jumped into the deep end, somebody said, by the way, the water isn't so cold over there. I know it's shady over there, but the sun was out for the longest time and it was hitting right over there. So the water is nice over there. That's where I would get in. And by the way, I would look out for this and I'd look out for that. So like you're like, I know exactly where to go in. I'm going to jump in the deep end. I'm going to jump in where the sun was hitting it. It's good. Happy about that. Harmony comes in. Because you already know the ins and outs of this, I don't think other people know that you're aware of that, of the ins and outs. I mean, obviously the person who told you does, but most of them don't. And I feel like you're able to kind of smoothly move into this and kind of like, all right, I know how these personalities work, and I know how to, I know I can kind of like, if I make this kind of more comfortable, I think I can make this more comfortable and make this more cooperative. You seem to just have some intel about, okay, that one doesn't really like to deal with a lot of people, but I think I can kind of smoothly move them in, as long as I kind of like let them move out when they want to. I think I can move this. Like if I can just keep them a little bit more involved, but also give them that space and give them something else they want, I think I can do this. You're kind of smoothly moving this energy around, just gently moving it where it needs to go. You're not making anything a big, what do you call it, hubbub? Like, I want to do this. Like, I'm getting this rabbit thing again. A big, you don't want to scare the rabbit. You don't want to scare the rabbit. Okay, I get it. So, like, you got to be very calm. It's like dealing with a rabbit. Like, if you approach them too quickly, they're gone. You got to be very careful. You got to stay out of their way. You got to make sure they feel comfortable. You leave a couple carrots over here, whatever, or maybe celery. I don't know, whatever they like. Radishes. I think they like radishes too. I don't know why. I could be completely wrong with that, by the way. Don't take me on that. I'm getting this with the you're creating a lot of harmony here, but you know what to do. People are very open because it just seems like you're very smooth going into this. And I feel like, for example, that one person doesn't like to deal with people. They're very forthcoming about, I don't mind talking to people, but this one, I don't trust them, and there's some of them over here, they're very vulgar. I don't like dealing with that. I just don't think I should have to. And I feel like you're catching on, like, oh. So it's not that they just don't want to be social. They don't like the way these people talk. Like, they don't like the vulgar thing. They think that other person's a little bit too pushy. Okay. Maybe I can work with this in another way. Maybe I can use that information a little bit better. Because they're telling you a lot of stuff. You get like a really warm welcome in this one. Especially how you're entering it. And I feel like the way you're entering it, people are feeling like you can help them out if they help you out. So they're trying to tell you things, thinking you can maybe help them out later on. Very warm welcome. Very good, right? I mean, that's not a bad thing. Sun card pops in next. You know what I mean? I was questioning. I'm like, am I just kind of like, is that really sunshine rainbows? Am I popping that up a little bit too much? Is it really that warm? They're like, well, the sun card's here. So it's going really well. This is a great moment. This is going to be your most effective moment in this situation. I don't think you're going to be surprised about that. Your most effective moment is here. This is this time right here. Most effective moment. New beginnings will be coming forward. You're going to have to make some bigger changes. How long can you make this last? That seems to be a question. There's a short period of time where you can kind of like test things out. And I feel like this person who gave you the information before, they're very helpful with that. So do some trial runs. Test this, test that, see if this works, see if that works. Because there's going to be some final decisions made fairly soon. It's a short period before that happens. Because I get the Magician on your side with the Page of Wands. You're going to have to make some decisions. Things are going to start changing, and you're just going to have to make decisions and fit things in where they need to go. And I'm getting it's going to happen in its time. When I get Isis inspiration, sometimes I get like, it's just something that's going to happen when it needs to happen. It comes in the environment. Everything's going to add up when it's supposed to. I feel like they're saying, immediately use this other person to your advantage. This is good. They want things to go better too. Test out some connections here. If we move this to there, how does that work out? If we move this to there, how does this work out? Have this person do it if you can, so you kind of stay away from it, so that people don't see you making the decisions. They think this other person is. That way when you kind of check up on these situations, people don't think that like you're the one that wanted that to happen. They're more likely going to tell you the truth about how that feels for them, and if they like it, if they don't like it. And that's going to be very valuable to you. This is a really good thing. Like, this is really, like, I'm loving this. I feel like this going into this new situation, I feel like this is going into a really good period for you, a really good time. Whatever the subject is, I feel like it's going to go into a very good time. Gathering as much information as you can is a good idea, too. It's only going to be a short period, and it's going to be your most effective period. They're also kind of giving you the heads up. Once that period ends and you actually have to lay down the plan and the new beginnings actually start, the dynamic will change. I don't think that's going to shock you, but, gather what you can in the beginning, definitely. And see it that way. There's certain things you're going to be able to find out before the change happens that you're not going to be as privy to later. It's going to be much more difficult to find out. So use it to your advantage. Anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.